I didn't wake up one day and suddenly become more spiritual. This is something that happened in these very quiet and subtle but powerful shifts. Here are 4 signs it could be happening for you too. We always begin with gratitude, so I want to thank you for being here and let you know that I am so very honored to have your energy and your presence here in this space. Peace. I am LA licensed therapist, holistic wellness coach and guide, and the creator of this channel, Reconnect with You. If you are returning, I want to welcome you back. If you are new here, peace and welcome to the space. I am so grateful to be sharing more about my spirituality and spiritual journey here on my channel, and I'm happy about that because it really is a salient part of my identity. And my path to my spirituality and just deepening my spirituality has not been linear. I want to share with you just some of the ways that I noticed my spirituality deepening and how I knew that this was a part of my spiritual journey, and how I knew that I was going deeper within myself and in my spirituality with these signs. The first sign that I want to share with you is when I started to fast more consistently. I recently dropped a video where I was talking about my fasting journey, and I had actually forgotten that I shared a video a while back just about 5 of the many benefits, I'm going to say, because there are several benefits to fasting. But I will link that video down below in the description box, and I'll make sure it's connected to this video in case you want to check that out. But I noticed that I was fasting more consistently, and it wasn't just that I was fasting more consistently, but I looked forward to fasting. Like, I would be like, I can't wait for my 3-day fast or my 5-day fast or whatever the case. And I would start to really embrace my fasting time, or fasting period rather, as this container for clarity, this container of protection for myself, and also this really sacred thing that I was doing by myself. And sometimes I do fast in community with other folks, but mostly it is by myself. But when I started fasting more consistently and I was really embracing my fasting practice and looking forward to fasting, that was the first sign. I won't say the first sign, it's one of the many signs, but that's the first sign that I want to share with y'all. The second sign that I noticed was when I stopped drinking and using substances. I have not shared this on my channel before, but I have shared it on social media publicly. I did stop drinking. I believe this is I'm going on month 5. So I have been alcohol free for just about 5 months. And I noticed that there would be times when maybe, in the past, when maybe I wanted to drink or I wanted to indulge in some plant medicine, which I've also talked about here. But I decided not to because I did not want to miss a particular message that might have been there for me that I needed, or some clarity or guidance that I felt like I needed. When you are under the influence, whether it's alcohol or some other substance, even if it is a substance or a medicine, I should say, that you are using for your spiritual practice, it can cloud your judgment. It can also create sort of blockages around the messages and guidance that is trying to reach you, or that you may need during a particular point or period in your life. And I found that I started to pay attention to that, and I would be like, okay, well, I'm not going to drink because I'm waiting for some guidance around this thing, or I'm not going to use this substance or this form of medicine because I need to be clear. I need my channel to be clear and open and ready to receive. And that was one of the ways that I knew I was deepening my connection to my spiritual self and just being more in tune with my spiritual self in general. So that's the second sign. The third sign that I want to share with you is that my dream world became a lot more active. I have always had an active dream world, even ever since I was a little girl. That's always been the case. But it becomes a lot more active when I am receiving downloads, which I've also mentioned here before, receiving downloads, or just setting intentions around particular guidance that I need and being able to receive that in the astral realm when I am dreaming. So when your dream world becomes more active, that could be a sign that you are deepening your spirituality, that you are getting more downloads and you are more open and receptive to receiving guidance. So a more active dream world is the third sign. The fourth sign that I want to share with you is when you are starting to embrace the interconnectedness of everything. One example that I want to give to you, and this is one of many examples, is wanting to be a more conscious being, a more conscious human, whatever you want to call it, but being more conscious. And I think about this article that I read recently, and I'll make sure that it's included in the description box, around how unkind we are to the earth, how a lot of people are here inhabiting the earth to receive, and not necessarily thinking about, well, how can I take better care of the earth while I'm here? How can I do things like reduce waste? How can I send healing and positive things back to the earth? How can I just be more conscious in general while I'm here? And I noticed, I want to say within the last year, I started caring a whole lot more about that. And I do think that there are some people like me who have started to care more about that because of things related to climate change and the climate crisis that we are experiencing, and just looking at how we're impacting the earth and how well the earth is. So just doing different things like reducing waste, not wanting to consume as much, also being mindful about recycling and things like that. And I think these are some small examples, but I wanted to offer you some that I have implemented in my life, but also some examples that are a bit more relatable. But when you do start caring about being a more conscious being and just taking better care of the earth, and wanting to also connect with nature and take better care of nature, and not being here just to take and to receive, but also think about your role in reciprocity and in giving back. So that is the fourth sign. So what does this all mean? You may be noticing these signs in your life in terms of you connecting more deeply with your spiritual self. What does it mean? What it means for you is that on some level you are ready to go deeper within yourself and deeper within your spirituality. And there's so many options in terms of what direction you can go in. And so I'm gonna save that for another video or another talk that I give. But I do want to share with you on a very basic level that it means that you're ready. You are ready to evolve. You are ready to ascend to a higher and deeper level of consciousness. And you are also ready to be tested in some ways. And I also talk a little bit more about that on my channel in terms of really rising to the occasion when it comes to certain challenges, specifically spiritual challenges that you may encounter on your path. So if you are noticing these signs, this is a sign of encouragement for you. This is a sign that you are exactly where you are meant to be, that you are in alignment with your intended path. In terms of what you can do with this, I want to offer you really one major tip that I offer, that I have taken myself, and also that I've offered to clients that I hold space for around their spirituality, is documentation. I cannot stress documentation enough, whether this is through taking pictures, videos of yourself where you are capturing what's happening for you, what's unfolding for you. But really, on a very basic level, one simple tool is just pen and paper. If you're like me and you are old school and you prefer pen and paper, I would encourage you to document as much as you can, because what happens when you are deepening your spirituality is that sometimes you may need to revisit certain time periods in your life, or you may question or wonder like, oh, this, I'm just giving this as an example, this astrological transit was happening during this time, or this big shift was happening in my life and I didn't realize it at the time. But what was I doing around that time? What did my thoughts look like? What was my inner environment like? And it's really difficult to recall all of that several months, sometimes years later. But if you have that documentation, you can, in a way, capture yourself in that ego state. And that's one of the many reasons why I recommend journaling as a practice to clients that I work with. And also, I'm an avid journaler myself. I've been journaling since I was little. So I journal and capture different things a lot. So that's what I want to offer you in terms of just 4 signs that you are tuning more into your spiritual self and what this means for you. I end each and every one of my videos with a prompt for journaling or reflection. And the prompt that I have for you for today is, which of these signs are you noticing? Which one resonates with you the most? Or what is one that maybe you are experiencing some resistance with? And I want you to take a moment to really sit with that. One thing that I like to do in terms of calling in guidance, or I should say creating the space for that guidance and those messages to come in, is I'm gonna offer you 2 practices. I would say free writing and also meditation. Really sitting in meditation before you write something down or before you try to make meaning of something. Embracing the stillness, embracing the silence, and seeing what comes in when you're in that space. So I would encourage you to take some time in reflection as you are sitting with that prompt to just see what comes up for you. Well, that is all that I have for y'all for today. I look forward to connecting with y'all again soon. Again, check out the video that I just posted a few days ago around my 55 days of fasting that I did in a year and what came up in that. I look forward to connecting with y'all again soon, but in the meantime, reconnect with you. Peace, y'all.